Hi there, Scott from Schedulo. Today I want to tell you about a fantastic new feature that's come to our scheduling and optimization capabilities. It's all to do with job dependencies and more specifically, time-bound constraints that you can now apply to those dependencies. So what I'd like to do today is do a quick recap of what's available already and what's available as a result of this new release to scheduling and optimization. Once you've enabled job dependencies in settings, it will then give you some additional options on your job details page. So if we have a look over here, you'll see that there's a section here for job dependencies where I can click on add dependency and I'm able to choose or add some dependencies that apply to this job. So we can say, for example, that this job must start or end before, after, or at the same time as the start of another job, or indeed the end of another job. And so this allows you to create a chain of jobs that happen in a particular sequence. With the new update to scheduling and optimization, you can now enable an advanced mode. And when we enable advanced mode, this gives us the ability to add a time-bound constraint to the dependency. And so we can say that this job must start more than, less than, or exactly a period of time in minutes, hours, or days, and with the same settings as we have already covered, so before or after the start or the end of another job. So let's have a look at this with a practical example. So I've come over into our San Francisco region, and you can see I've got some work that needs to be scheduled here. One of the particular projects that I've got here for a customer is to install some new solar panels. And in order to do that for the customer, there's a few things that need to take place. The first thing is that there's some scaffolding that needs to be installed, followed by some initial electrical work. After the electrical work, we can install the solar panels. And then finally, once all the work's complete, we can do a safety check and assessment and certify the installation. So in order to ensure that these jobs happen one after the other, and they are spread out sufficiently to allow some initial jobs to commence before we start some of the following jobs. Let's have a look. So here I have my scaffolding installation job. You'll see that this is dependent on the electrical wiring first fix must start more than an hour after start of this job. So basically with the scaffold installation, we want the team to get there, get started, and it's going to take about half a day. However, the electrical work can commence so long as the scaffolding work has commenced for at least an hour. So they're able to work in parallel to some degree, but we do need to get scaffolding work started first before the electricians come on site. And then as we look at the first fix here for the electrical work, you can see that then after that, we can install the solar panels. And that must start more than an hour after the commencement of the electrical wiring work. And then once we've completed the solar panel installation, we then have an electrical system test and certification job that must start at least one day after the end of the installation of the solar panels. Now, of course, we could go ahead from here and go to the scheduling tab on each of these particular jobs, or jump back into the swim lane view and manually schedule these jobs. But what I want to show you today is the power that the optimization engine has to do this automatically for us. So let's jump in and have a look at optimization. So if we head back to our swim lane and we select all of the work that we've got in San Francisco, and we click the scheduling action, optimize. This will launch a modal here where I've got a couple of options, but I'm going to leave them as the default here, where we've got 34 items of work, 4 of which are all chained together, and the rest of them don't have any dependencies. And we've got 20 resources or 20 technicians that can complete this work. Let's go ahead and kick that off. So the optimization of my work has now completed, and we can see all of the jobs have now been scheduled. So let's go have a look at those results. First up, we get a preview of all the work that's been scheduled here. But let's go have a look at the scheduled work tab, because when we come here, we can see the detail of each of the jobs, but more specifically, we can see all the ones that had dependencies. So here is our first job in the series where we had to install the scaffolding. which has come first. And then followed on, you'll notice that the electrical wiring had to start an hour after the commencement of the scaffolding install. And you can see that this has now been scheduled for 10 a.m. And this one then indeed depended on the installation of the solar panels, which has been scheduled successfully. And then finally, the electrical system testing and certification is the last one that's been scheduled in our list. So we can see all of those scheduled in our preview, where if we scroll down, we can see the scaffolding installation, we can see the electrical wiring that needed to be done. We're followed by the installation of the solar panels, and then indeed the system testing and certification. So there you have it. There's a quick overview of time-bound constraints for job dependencies and how you can both build them into your workflow and then use them as well within manual scheduling practices or within the optimization engine to get them scheduled automatically. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please do like, comment, and subscribe so that we can keep on making these videos for you. And I've also included some links to our documentation around job dependencies in the description below. Bye for now. We'll see you soon.